I think it is shocking how many people unironically believe this and repeat this. Like there's definitely a real number of people that are actually firmly committed to this position. Can you watch Tim Dillon talk about Miss Rachel's Gaza video? It's a pretty great example of calling out the Semitic propaganda on a decently big platform.
I wanted to talk about this. I don't know much about Miss Rachel. I haven't consumed much of her content. My godson, who is 4, I don't think is a Miss Rachel fan either. I don't know. I don't know what he watches.
Yo, put your godson on game, dude. What is this? What is this, bro? Your godson needs to be watching Miss Rachel.
But I don't think it's Miss Rachel. I don't know what's going on in that household, to be quite honest. But Miss Rachel has come under fire recently because she does content for children. Singing songs, things like that for kids. And Miss Rachel has come under fire because she's spoken out for the children of Gaza who are being starved to death and killed, bombed and stuff. And Miss Rachel, something's wrong with her, this woman. I think I don't know what's wrong with her. She's like mad at this. What? So Miss Rachel, yeah, I know. So this woman is like, doesn't understand like why all these kids in Gaza like do have to go, like all of them. She doesn't get it. She didn't get the memo that like these are not blameless children.
Right. Finally, someone is saying the truth that is so hard to come by. Finally, someone also, but guys, he's being sarcastic. It's a joke. He's a comedian. He's joking on his comedy podcast. Just going to let you know, he is, this is the Autistic Man Explains the Autistic Community the structure of a joke hour of this broadcast. Once again, I made the bro thought jokes would fly mistake, as I do all the time on this community. Okay. He is showcasing how insane the counter narratives against Miss Rachel are by assuming their position and entertaining their position as though it is the truth. Okay, it's a little misdirection there. Do you understand? In an effort to like lean into what people say about Miss Rachel, he is showcasing that the people who hate Miss Rachel are in the wrong, and also insane people, as a matter of fact. Okay, at Grok, explain this joke.
They are part of a very, very dangerous terrorist organization. And they have to be, and I mean, there's people that are coming on saying this, by the way. Dr. Einat Wolf is outgoing. The Hamas represents the genuine desires of the Palestinian people. Another guy just came out, and we'll play him later, saying that, like, hey, there's not really anybody innocent over there. There's no such thing as innocent people. And so, and of course, so it's odd to me that Miss Rachel is not figuring this out. She's like, just...
Yeah, because she must be a deeply anti-Semitic person. Because everybody knows if you want to be someone who is not an anti-Semite, you have to assume that all Jewish people, no matter where they live, love unlimited baby murder, okay? This is the least anti-Semitic position you can arrive at. The notion that Jewish people actually look at the current Holocaust going on in Gaza and go, please, I love that. This is for me, and I want more of it. This is somehow the least anti-Semitic position you can arrive at. And anyone that says, hey, I actually don't like that, Maximum anti-Semitism. Maximum anti-Semitism.
Just looking at these kids and going, why do we keep killing these kids? And there's always a good reason for children being killed. Oh, literally always. And it bothers me when people make it simple. Like, people make it really simple, and it's like the world is not that simple. When I see a child being killed, the first thing I do is step back and take a moment. I take a moment and I think about history, and I think about the layers and the complexity, the ins and the outs, and that's what I do. Miss Rachel, this dumb...
Don't say bless you. It's science you, okay? You can say Albert Einstein you. You can say facts, logic, and reasoning you. Do not say bless you, okay? I treat it as a microaggression. There is no blessing in this community, okay? Say Matthew or something, okay?
By the way, she sees a kid being killed and is like, stop it! Stop killing that kid! And I'm like, wait a minute, why don't you read a book? How about some study? When I see a kid being killed, I immediately open a book. And I begin to read the book. And I'll find the answer. I don't know where, chapter 3.
This guy is saying what dumb guys say when they want to sound smart. I think about history and read a book. He's just, oh my God, okay.
What is happening? What is this? So she is, understandably ignorant of the need to, there's always a reason. We're not just running around killing kids unless it's a necessary thing to be done. Right? I mean, duh. So this whack job, okay, to make some political point, I don't want to see politics when I'm watching a children's show. Now, Miss Rachel is politicizing her children's show with Hamas propaganda. Let's take a look. And by the way, this is
Nice Bathroom is correct. This is called exposure therapy. A lot of you have never even encountered a joke in the wild, okay? Or at least like the only type of jokes that you have encountered in the wild are in the meme format. So when you actually hear someone like being sarcastic or whatever, you just like lose your mind. So this is important. This is exposure therapy. Hype train incoming, by the way.
It's not for the faint of heart. I'm telling you right now, I watched this. I was in disbelief at how sick it is. I was in literal disbelief. This is one of the sickest and most...
Yeah, we're making comedy legal again. USA, comedy legal again.
Insane things I've seen in my life. This is an American mother engaging in Hamas propaganda with a member of Hamas. She brought a member of Hamas on her show. Let's take a look. See if we can get a little volume there.
See the bunnies sleeping till it's nearly noon. Shall we wake them with a merry tune? They're so still. Are they ill?
Disgusting.
Wake up soon. Just pretend to sleep.
I mean, this is, yeah. I learned exactly what I needed to learn from this. I learned exactly what I needed to learn from this, which is she is communicating to me. She is telling me, dismantle the Zionist entity piece by piece. That's classic, dude. Oh, y'all thought this was just about a child that almost got assassinated by the Israeli state with American munitions? Think again. Yeah. The dangerous brainwashing continues. Miss Rachel doing material support to Hamas.
Wake up, little bunnies! Skip, little bunnies, skip, skip, skip. Skip, little bunnies, skip, skip, skip. Skip, little bunnies, skip, skip, skip. Skip, skip, can't stop. Let's hop again. Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop.
This
Hop,
is
little bunnies,
Hamas
hop, hop, hop.
propaganda. Let's stop this for a minute because this is insane. It is propaganda. Miss Rachel, with the a girl who lost both of her legs in Gaza. And again, you might think that's wrong. You might think that's wrong from the comfort of your house. You might not understand why it's right. Because, as Douglas Murray would say, you're in the comfort of your home. You're in the comfort of your home. People in the Western world, in your culture.
I think it is shocking how many people unironically believe this and repeat this. Like, there's definitely a real number of people that are actually firmly committed to this position. You've never been. Yeah, like 40% of our nation? No, dude. No. You're wrong about that. I will say, you are definitely wrong about that. Maybe 40% of like Washington, D.C., like 40% of politicians. Having said that, as far as like the average American's position goes on this, like it is maximum 30% of Americans. Probably closer to like 20% to 25%. There is no appetite for this level of death and destruction in the United States of America. Okay? It's certainly not 40% of Americans. What are they trying to imply when they say, have you ever been there? It's Douglas Murray and his like idiotic argument against Dave Smith on the Joe Rogan Experience that made the rounds, where Douglas Murray was allowed into the Gaza Strip with the IDF, of course. And he even posed in front of Yahya Sinwar's chair that he was assassinated in, that he was killed in, fighting. And Douglas Murray was trying to own Dave Smith, comedian Dave Smith, who is pro-Palestine, by claiming that you can't talk about Israel because you haven't been there, which is like a very common technique that Israel defenders apply when they go, oh, you just haven't seen Israel. Or you haven't been to the Gaza Strip. It's like idiotic. One must ask the question why people are not allowed to go to the Gaza Strip. But of course, no one ever asked that question. Also, Douglas Murray himself talks about Iran all the time, talks about North Korea all the time. That motherfucker's never been there. So, it's a stupid position. It is ironically the same exact position that Andrew Tate tried to use against me in our famous debate, where I was trying to explain to him the importance of empirical evidence, the importance of like observations, reading books, in an effort to better understand the world around us. And he there was that famous moment where I was like, hey, you don't think the Earth is flat? He's like, no, it's not. Oh, well, how do you know? It feels flat. Andrew, do you believe the Earth is flat or round, spherical, globe?
Round.
You believe it's round, right? But when you walk outside, it feels like it's flat.
Brother, and I
it looks flat, it feels flat, but you believe it's round. Why do you believe the Earth is round?
Because I have personal experience that would prove to me that the Earth is round.
Oh, you have personal experience. What happened? Did you go up to the moon? Is that how you figured it out?
Exactly. I flew up into space and I looked down on Earth and I saw a big circle.
That's crazy. Okay, you don't have to. Hey, listen. Have you been on a spaceship? Have you been on a rocket ship and flew outside of the atmosphere to take a look and see how not flat it actually is? No. So obviously you rely on this stuff too. Have you seen how bloodthirsty the average American is? No shot is 20%. Yes, but Americans are also incredibly selfish. Americans also fancy themselves to be peaceful people. Debate that was a dog walk? Yeah. It was a dog walk, and it literally was one of the most consequential debates of my career, because after that, the entirety of the blue checkmark like power farmers and meme accounts turned so aggressively. That caused me to get
Proving your point.
okay. Yeah, this is it. I made Andrew Tate run away in a debate. 2.8 million views 2 years ago. 3 years ago now. This also, in my opinion, was the beginning of the end. Up until this moment, everyone was just like glazing him, and no one who had been around him had actually like held his feet to the fire a little bit. It's also yet another great example. It's also yet another great example of the audience doesn't know better than me sometimes, because everyone overwhelmingly was telling me, don't talk to him, don't talk to him, don't talk to him. You're going to platform him. Meanwhile, he was on a spaceship, okay? He was platforming me. Anyway.
Cul-de-sacs and your suburbs don't understand why that girl's legs needed to be off her body. Do you understand that? Maybe you're confused. You better get the memo. You better get the program as to why that she needs to have no legs. But you'd understand that if you weren't so goddamn soft. See, everyone in the West is soft, and they can't understand why we got to kill children.
Speaking of killing children, we are going to talk about the U.S.-backed group and its aid distribution that started and basically was a spectacular failure. Here's Dillon Saba saying, U.S. bombs, U.S. hunger plan, this is our genocide. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The U.S. is as responsible for the Gaza genocide as Israel was for the Sabra and Shatila massacres. Abso-freaking-lutely.